welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Brittany and I am on a mission to hit 1,000 subscribers, so make sure you click that button below. Currently, at this exact moment, I'm actually working with my Ricoma MT-1501. I do have a pretty large order of hats that I am currently working on, and I am monitoring this thing to no end. I've been having a lot of issues. I've been on the phone with tech support a lot in reference to all the little minor errors that I am running into. But surprisingly, the biggest error that I was running into was my digitizing image, which I did mention in my blanket video. So like I mentioned, make sure you are working with a great, reputable digitizer. I know Ricoma said that they have a list of options on their website. I tried to look for it. I didn't see it, so maybe I overlooked it. If you guys know where it's at, let your girl know below. I would appreciate it. I do have someone I am working with now, which do seem like my images are coming out better. And I do want to show you what I'm talking about, a bad image versus an okay image. And I would love to find a great image. Sorry, like I said, monitoring. All right, so far I'm actually working with WPU Ice Hockey. It's someone that reached out, so we are working on them. But basically, I mean, I have like an order of 50. So here's hats that I've done. Those are okay. Those are not great. These are my okay hats. I've done those, and this is what I've worked on so far. The image, I did time it out. It is taking me about 23 minutes per hat, just because I do have to reduce my speed. I'm at 720, and even that they said was kind of high per Ricoma. But you know, you're finding everything everywhere. Some people are saying they go to 1,000. I've never done that. Some people are saying to go as low as 400, which I have done that. So I've gone to like 400 to 720. That's usually my comfort zone, depending on the size of the image, depending on the thread count, you know, how like tedious it needs to look, because obviously the higher the speed that I'm gonna go, honestly, in my opinion, I feel like it's making the image bounce too much, so it's not looking as clean. On this section where it always messes up. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my bad images. The first digitizer that I was working with, again, keep in mind I'm being very critical, but this is the first image, and as you can see, there's like a little gap missing here. You can see there's like, it looks like white is almost missing there. You can see where like the P is popping out here. So, of course, it's like, I mean, I'm sure someone would take this and be like, it's all right, like you're being, you know, over dramatic. But again, it's like, again, you have it here, and then it's like the U is getting messed up. Again, the gap on the W. But then this time there's no gap right here. So, it's like a hit and miss. It's like every time I embroider, it's like something different. Here's another. Again, this one to me is not bad. I know there's a little gap here, but overall, it's not as bad. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm literally using this same image. Well, this is the old designer. And it was like, some were coming with issues and some were not. And then I ended up reaching out to a new digitizer, and these are my okay preferred images. So, this one, here you go. It did mess up on the O, so you can definitely see it here. But see how the WPU, it did come out better. But then look, I'll show you this one. Same digitizer, same just pop in, pop out moment. But then look at this. I had like where it popped out here. There's like thread in between the U here. But then like Ice Hockey then came out good. A little bit here. So do you know what I mean? Like, if you guys have ran into this issue, let me know your suggestions and maybe what you're able to correct. It seems like it is running better, but still not great. All right, and I guess I look at it as if you're gonna be paying money for this stuff, you want it to look great. So yeah, so that's just issues and what I've been working on, I'm just gonna go ahead and let the machine run so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. And then if I have any issues pop up, which I want to get 8 more hats done tonight, and I still have, I think, another like 10 more to go. So let's kind of see what other issues arise. Okay, so already happened. I'm gonna bring you in closer. All right, so here is my issue, right? I am currently embroidering. Sorry if it's shaky, I'm trying to pay attention. And right here, if you can see, there's a gap in the C, right? I literally did nothing. So, in order to fix that, we're gonna go to my machine. And if it's not focused or starts blurring, bear with me. I'm trying to pay attention to the hat more. I stopped the image, right? So I stopped it, and then now I'm gonna backtrack it. So all you gotta do is hit stop again, and you'll start seeing it tracing in here. And I'm basically gonna go all the way back to the bottom of the C. Right? All right, so now it's on the C, started at the top. You guys can see that it's going into now towards the bottom, and then boom, I'm gonna stop it, right? Now you do have to hit this button. You wanna make sure that it does turn red, and now you're gonna press go, and now it should correct it. Boom. Now I am gonna stop it, sorry with all that. I'm gonna stop it because I don't need it to finish. I just needed it to correct that. So all I'm gonna do is hit scissor, and that basically is cutting the thread down. Sorry guys, down here. So it's cutting the thread. And then I am gonna just hit go, and basically it's going to act like it's threading, but it's not gonna drop the needle at all, as you can tell, right? So you're just gonna hear the noise, because it's going to catch up to where it last stopped, which was the K. So it's basically gonna fake run it all the way through until the image needs to start back up again. So as you are hearing, it is beeping. Personally, before I take this off, I want to check to see if I need to make any other corrections. Like I said, if I didn't happen to see that C and I pulled it off and had to put it back on, more than likely it might not align perfectly. So then at that point I could backtrack it, and I'll more than likely show you in another video. So again, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. But since I did catch it mid, sewing, everything else looks fine. Obviously, another big thing that I was doing is I was actually, not that I wasn't doing it on purpose, but I guess I wasn't giving it enough force. I guess I wasn't clipping it on the bottom clip down here. So there's one here, there's one here, and there's one here. So all together there's going to be 3 clips that you have to physically clip on. And you not only need to make sure it clips, but like, where are they? These fasteners, they're on here, dummy. These, you shouldn't hear this, right? So as soon as you clip this on, like you should hear it click, and then these shouldn't move at all, you see? Like they're not moving at all, versus if it's not clipped in, now you can hear that. So that's major, because I was actually having it to where I wasn't getting the bottom one clipped in. And again, that was my fault, it was my user error. And what was happening is the image then was bouncing too much, and then again creating some off shift. So I did make that correction. All right, so now as you do see, this is the hat. As you can see, there are a lot of loose threads. That is normal, 100% normal, because basically it's stopping one image and then hopping over to the other. And I highly recommend tweezers on hand. These actually come with the Ricoma machine. There's nothing special about them. They're just pointy at the end. So if you don't have any, buy some. And then this my mom actually told me about. This is just like a thread picker. I got the little tiny one. Alexa, craft room 100%. Okay, I kept seeing like this flickering, and I think it's because my lights aren't all the way turned on. Anyways, my mom's the one who actually told me about this. It's basically a thread picker, and this is a godsend. So if you don't know about it, go buy it. It was at Walmart. I bought the pink one to go with my theme. I did buy the bigger one, but I don't know where it's at. So I've been using the small one. Small one's fine. No complaint. Again, I talked about these before. These are the scissors. And then guys, a lighter. Have a lighter in your station. Trust me, I use this thing as like my handyman. If you can't see it right here, I do keep all of this right here while I'm actually embroidering, okay? So the first thing that I am gonna do is I am gonna go through. I'm basically gonna clip any excess off. Bear with me, right? So I'm clipping. Oop. All right. I'm left-handed, so this is kind of hard. All right, so yes, there's a trash can right here. Oh, I missed a couple. So let's get that and that. I actually do vacuum my craft room pretty often because of all these loose threads. All right, so now that I've done that, you're still gonna notice, like, look, that's hanging out, this is hanging out, like that's hanging out. There's a little, basically what happened is the thread got caught in the O when it transitioned over to the next letter. So you're gonna see all that, right? So then what I'm gonna do is take this little pick, since you wanna focus on my face, this little pick, and I'm literally gonna go inside the O, and I'm going to just like pick at it. And basically all that I'm doing is I'm just like lifting up the thread, and like there's it in between the C. Be careful, because sometimes you could accidentally grab the material, which is what I just did, but I stopped before I yanked. So again, we have like loose thread here, right? So we have all this, and it's gonna be very hard to try to sit there with scissors and like get in there. So that's when we got this guy. All right, so all you're gonna do, don't be afraid, trust me, I was. Look, you just start it and just run it across, and you are literally watching all these little pieces go away. I do have my fan on, so it does keep going out on me, but I'm not shutting the fan off. We're in Florida. But like, yeah, see how like I'm not being delicate. Oh, that shut off because I was breathing. I'm not being delicate by any means. So don't be afraid to use a lighter. I actually saw this in another YouTube video, and I was like, no, like this guy's crazy. And then, so now look how clean that looks. Like, boom, awesome. I actually think this actually came out pretty good. It did stop once for bobbin. It needed to be changed. I believe with that specific design, it is just shy of 9,500 stitches, so it's 9,481. So I believe with that design, I can get 5 hats per bobbin. So that's not really a whole lot. But again, keep in mind, there are some times where I do have to like go back to make corrections and then go forward. So it's almost like doing an image and a quarter, if you want to look at it like that. But yeah, those are my tips. I don't know why, but I do get a lot of like built up, I don't know what they are, to be honest. I don't know if it's metal. I don't know what it is, but I do keep an air can literally right down here. And always clean your machine. You of course always want to make sure that everything's going well with your bobbin, which it doesn't, Actually, mine wasn't even, yeah, it fell off my pigtail, so glad I looked at that. Okay. There's so many YouTube videos on how to do your bobbin. I can link it. I'll link the Ricoma one below. They got some better cameras than I do to like sit there, zoom in, and anyways, you always want to make sure you hear it clip. And now this is just hanging out as excess, which is perfect. It eventually will go away. And then at that point, I'm just going to put on my next hat and just keep going. Okay, I want to show this because look, you see right here, there's a gap. This keeps happening every single time. So I have to now stop what I'm doing and go back and correct it. As well as look at over here. You see here? Wish this would focus better. There we go. You see how these lines, look how far out these are compared to where it's stitching. So that means that before this now does the outline, I have to go in and physically pull these out. And this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes this happens and then sometimes it doesn't. So this is what I'm trying to talk to Ricoma about and figure out why sometimes the design comes out flawlessly and then why sometimes when I embroider, the image decides to change things up. So, not in a positive way. So if you guys know the answer to this, please help me out because I'm trying to explain it and for some reason when I do, it's not coming across, but I feel like a video is very helpful. So I actually wanted to show you guys how I personally hoop my hats. There are so many different tutorials to watch. This does come with Ricoma machine. Basically, it's just your base, I guess you can call it, and it does get screwed in, not really screwed, but just tightened in, as you can see right here. And personally, I don't have anything in my craft room at this exact moment where I can put this to, so unfortunately I have to walk back and forth into my office, which is my desk. And yes, it is ruining my desk, but as you can see, my desk is already ruined, so I don't really care. But yeah, the first thing you want to make sure you do is just tighten it, so of course it doesn't move. And then these are the style hats that I am using at this exact moment, so gray and black. Honestly, the one thing I have learned is make sure you unconnect or disconnect it. A lot of people have mixed feelings on it. Some say yes, some say no. I just say do what works with you. I've noticed that it is working better when I, just snap it off. And then obviously the sweatband here is just gonna flip up. So you do want that up and out of the way here. And then basically there is this metal bracket. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm going to do the best that I can showing you guys, so bear with me. Actually, let me drop that down. There you go. All right, so what you're gonna do is the sweatband is going to be up. As you can see here, it is up. And then there's this metal piece. There is actually a line here, and technically that is the center, but I can show you guys how to align that on your actual machine. And so what I'm gonna do is make sure everything is on. I do make sure that the back of the hat does go over these. And then basically you're gonna take that sweatband and you need to tuck it underneath here. See how you gotta tuck it underneath? Obviously it's not working very well because I'm not paying attention. But yeah, you just tuck it underneath. I personally was told by Ricoma I don't need a backing for this hat. It is one thing that I will mention due to the thickness of it. But my more flimsy hats, absolutely, sometimes you actually need two backings. So I do want to make sure that this is here. I do the same thing to the other side. Again, this is just a sweatband, so I'm kind of just pulling it forward. And then honestly, this has a bunch of like teeth in here, and these teeth need to actually sit where the cap has the top of the hat versus the cap of the hat. And honestly, these teeth need to sit in here. All right, just like that. They sit right in there, snug like a bug in a rug. All right, next thing is you need to take your clasp, you need to hook it. The one thing is you need to make sure that this right here, this metal piece, is also at the back, because this is a guide. And then again, I've heard all recommendations. Some people are like, it should be so hard, you should be using the palm of your hand. I've noticed that that was actually what was causing a lot of issues with my images. So now I have it like as easy as pie. Like, look how smooth that is, right? So now as you can see, the brim is connected, and then just those 3 clips, this is going to come right off. And as you can see, there's the brim, and it is clean. And actually, I don't fasten the backs. Again, it's because of these hats are a little bit more sturdier. Again, my flimsier hats, they do come with like clips that you can add in the back, and basically it just helps give it a little bit more structure. But again, these I don't have to.